you want to open?
And we're back for the grand final. Welcome again, everyone. I'm Inkuri, and I am joined by Topic for the grand final battle. The First Supplies and the Hybrid Family battling each other again in that zone. How are you feeling this grand final?
I'm feeling pretty well. Last set we saw Fierce Supplies go do a pretty dominant job over Ziphius. Let's see if they're able to keep that up and win. Though I do believe Hybrid Family will provide a bit more resistance.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how it goes. But we're going to jump right into the game as everyone seemed to be ready here. I don't even know what map is it. It's Hagglefish Market. Very open zone again with some good flanks. I mean, it's a very basic map that works wonderfully well in Splat zone.
Yeah, as we are gonna see a little bit of changes for Fierce Supplies, going with the decav instead of the ink brush. A bit more of a fighting weapon, though it can play a bit defensive with the Splat Bomb and the Bubble. And it's on the side of the Hybrid Family, a very, very aggressive comp with a 52 in Octobrush and a Splash. So they're going to want to fight. Looks like they're going to do a pretty good job of that, getting 2 down on Fierce Supplies. Unfortunately, they are going to go 3 down here as Fierce Supplies are going to respond rather quickly.
Respond very quickly, but yeah, for the moment, Fierce Supplies have the zone, have the lead. They came back very well and took some very good kills. Be careful here with the Zipcaster getting punished by the decav. Decav rushing in, taking maybe some good kills here on the right side. Kiro with the crab ready, going to pull it off maybe here on the top left. It's waiting, but as we speak, Fierce Supplies already got past the 50-point mark.
Yeah, Fierce Supplies with a really strong hold here. However, that is going to be threatened by Hybrid Family as they are going to start a little bit of a push going. That's 1 down. That's 2 down. No Zipcaster for that Octobrush. And Fierce Supplies with a very strong hold. Very, very good job here of just finding where enemies are and just getting those kills. Unfortunately for them, the Crab's going to get out, get a pick, maybe go for 2. There's a Zipcaster. Hybrid Family using 3 specials to try to get something going, and they are going to be able to get zone.
They stick to zone and maybe a bit of time to breathe now for the Hybrid Family, but they need to get right back in it. Already the Trizuka making some good kills. The Bubbler here to secure a bit of the zone. Decav taking the zone, and now they're all locked on the right side. The Gal alone and its teammate coming right back in it here on the front line. But for the moment it's really hard, and Fierce Supplies hold on to the objective.
Yeah, Fierce Supplies is playing some really good keep away for the most part. They've been keeping away mainly this Zipcaster, because every time that Hybrid Family has popped a Zipcaster, they've tried to go and get a kill. It has not worked in their favor. It looks like right now Fierce Supplies using the wall of the 52 against them, getting a pick with that as the Zag is going to come out protecting their teammates, and Fierce Supplies with a really, really strong hold. However, Hybrid Family is still not going away, and
again,
they gotta
that
stop
bomb.
using the wall. Those walls are Hybrid Family's worst enemy, as that's 2 down. And with about 10 ticks left, this may be it. This is their last chance. The brush has to go for the zone. It is gonna work, and just like that, Hybrid Family with a wipeout is gonna hold on at the last moment.
At the last moment, it was 2 ticks left, and already the brush working in with the Zipcaster, but again getting punished by Arkham and its Jet Squelcher. Be careful here, the Crab is there to hold them back. Already 50 points left. It's time for Fierce Supplies to get right back into it if they want to win that game. The Vacuum will do a great work here to stop the zone, but it's already taken back by the Hybrid Family that hold on to the position. Zulka taking 1 good kill, but it's not enough for the moment. Teammates are responding. 20 points left. Maybe time to take back the zone. Fierce Supplies. Yeah, they got it, but be careful. The Crab is here, and yeah, it's still very close game for the moment.
Yeah, and when we talk about pushing for Fear Supplies, the one thing I can say about their comp is that they don't really have that aggressive. Well, they have one aggressive special, being that Zuka, so they can really force their way in with that. But other than that, they have a lot of supportive specials with the cooler, with the bubble, with the vac, which is can be considered aggressive or supportive depending on what weapon you use it. But since it's Jets culture, it is very supportive. So they're gonna have to make really, really good work of finding those individual picks instead of just relying on the Zuka player. Since if Zuka misses one or two of those shots, there's not a whole lot they can do to kind of force their way in.
But I mean, for the moment, they're finding those individual kills very well. And again, this vacuum, I mean, the vacuum isn't really effective in taking the zone and being aggressive. But once they got the zone, it's amazing to extend the advantage and keep the hybrid family off of this objective.
Yeah, it looks like that didn't work out in their favor, as without 15 seconds left and about 50 ticks left, this may be Fear Supplies' last opportunity to get something going. That's a really good start getting rid of the Octobrush. However, with here we are going into overtime. Fear Supplies need to build up their specials at the moment. Looks like the Vax at their popping back, try to neutralize that crab. It is gonna work, forcing the crab in the ball form. There's the Zuka.
That will stop
It's all out pandemonium, and Fear Supplies will take away the zone from a hybrid family.
That was an instant cap.
Okay, you know what? We need a new commentator. Too many puns. Too many puns.
Too many puns, what do you mean?
Too many puns.
And very good work here for Fear Supplies. They secured like a big part of the game, but I mean, they were like it was the hybrid family who brought fear to them, almost coming back into the game, almost taking the KO, almost taking back the objective, taking back the advantage. But Fear Supplies, in like the last seconds, they got back, they used their special in the right time. And you were saying they didn't have a lot of aggressive specials, but I mean, even if they have a lot of supportive specials, they use it so well that they can be aggressive with them and just taking these individual kills with their main.
Yeah, and I think what happened in that game is that the crab from Hybrid Family kind of filled up that vac and just made it a really, really large explosion, which kind of, and with the help of the Zuka, just kind of almost instantly capped zone for Fear Supplies. But enough of game number one. Let's see if they will be able to continue this little momentum streak as we go into our next one, Umami Ruins.
Umami Ruins, and we were talking about Banta Maria having like a double zone, but it was almost like a one zone only. Umami Ruins is the complete opposite. The two zones are very distinguished one from another, because you have that big block right in the middle, stopping everyone from moving. So yes, you just have to get around or just get on the top of it if you need to make the difference.
Yeah, it looks like both of these teams. What really comes down to in this map is specifically is how well can they take control of that top mid, as we do see Fear Supplies going back to the brush. So a bit more of a sneakier weapon, as we do see Hybrid Family going for this right side zone, try to just contest it. What a lot of teams like to do is like to take their zone first and then try to work towards top mid, towards the other zone. Looks like Fear Supplies can do that in spades, getting two down with the whale, but a really fast cap from them.
Very fast cap and already making a bit of work. They're not getting for the moment any significant kills, but they get the control, or maybe not. They lost control because of the Hybrid Family making good point here on the right side. We got the Gal facing the brush, losing that duel, but the left zone has been capped. It's the brush versus the splash, it's won by the Hybrid Family, but for the moment, this Splasho is a bit alone there. They're taking the zone back, the crab is ready, the specials are ready on one side, but not on Fear Supplies.
Yeah, I just want to point out for Hybrid Family, the Splash kind of won a 1v3 or 1v2 or 3 there, just staying alive against the brush, against the shot, being able to just stay alive and just give jumps to their team. Looks like it's gonna work out in their favor as Hybrid Family will cap the zone and pop and take the lead here with only 3 ticks remaining. There it is, but Fierce Supplies is already responding with the vac just completely taking over and neutralizing one of the zones.
Yeah, Vac making a really good point here, and the T-Jet is, like the V-Jet is continuing to make some good kills here. On the left, maybe it was taken care of by its teammate, and the Zuka already there making some big holes in the Hybrid Family's defense. The lead has been taken back, and we're approaching the 50 points.
Yeah, about 60 points remaining for Fierce Supplies. There's a crab coming up from Hybrid Family, try to cause a little bit of pressure there, but the vac shot will just distract them long enough to make them use ball form. But that's not going to work out a lot in their favor, as Fierce Supplies only has 1 member left, being the Zap. They're going to be flanked by another person, but unfortunately for them, the brush is there to help as backup, but Hybrid Family is keeping this aggression up. They're not allowing Fierce Supplies to stay all together. They're trying to divide and conquer, which is what you need to do if you really want to get a good hold here, as there's another crab coming out from Hybrid Family and taking the zone.
Yeah, but I mean, we have a good flank here with the Zap making some good diversion, jumping out in the void. Good control here by the Hybrid Family, but I don't think Fierce Supplies will let them take that lead. They have the Zuka going, they have the Vacuum going, making some good paint in the zone, already taking the control, already taking some good kills, but it's a 2v2 situation here.
Yeah, 2v2. Looks like depends. It's like both teams are fighting over it, and Fierce Supplies both force Hybrid Family away, but they haven't taken control of this silo area, which is very, very important. Since you can kind of just look over all of the right side zone and over mid. So if you get control of the enemy silo, it becomes really, really hard for them to push out. As Fierce Supplies is going to go another one down, and Hybrid Family is going to try to push something going with the cooler at the ready. Here they go. Their offensive is going to work. Never mind. As Fierce Supplies is going to stand strong, get 2 down, and still force Hybrid Family back and eat through their penalty.
Eat through the penalty. Be careful here. Maybe the Decaster can make some work. No, I got the comment to the curse again, and we're approaching the 10 points. 10 ticks left for the win of Fierce Supplies, getting 1 game away from the win, but maybe the loss of control here can be decisive. No, Vacuum was making a good work to repaint the zone, and Fierce Supplies getting that game too, and again getting 1 game away from taking the whole tournament.
Yeah, Hybrid Family tried to do what they did last game and try to extend the game a little bit further, but unfortunately for them, Arkham just had the vac at the ready and just shot it whenever they tried to neutralize it. So yeah, like you said, Fierce Supplies is 1 game away from winning this, and with how strong they're looking, I wouldn't be surprised if they swept.
Maybe they will sweep, but I mean, that map that we're coming to is very different from what we've seen. It's Shipshape. So, I don't think I've ever seen a map that close on the middle, especially in Splat Zone. Like, the zone is in a big drop down, and you have those big tops, like almost a bridge on the top of it. So, there's a lot of special plays that only exist in Shipshape.
Yeah, and I think what really happens on Shipshape is both teams try to fight over that bridge. Because if you have that bridge area, you have a very clear line of sight into the enemy court. So what both teams really need to focus on here is making sure you get both sides of the bridge, both the right and the left side. Because if that happens, you basically kind of can see wherever the enemy goes, since right under that bridge or right under the left side bridge, you can see the enemies drop. So anyone that tries to sneak up on you, yes, you will have to watch out, since the wall is not visible. It's very easy for you to shoot at them and at least deter them away from coming up to you. Also, from the pit or from the court area, you can just something like Azuka, something like Strikes, or something that can just force them back into this little corridor. This little corridor back into their spawn will really help.
Yeah, and we're going right into game 3, it can be decisive. And I think that they will have a great advantage, Field Supplies, because they have a vacuum. Vacuum is especially important on that map because everything is close. So every shot will like come to you if you place it well. But we do have a blaster here that can make some good calls and good kills going here on the right side maybe, but already stopped by Arkham here on the back, on the left side, taking a good kill. The zone is very disputed here. The big bubbler is out, but for the moment, Field Supplies get the first control of the zone.
Yeah, and I think Hybrid Family decided to go change the Junior for the fact that it just kind of spams bombs. It just does a lot. It just paints the zone very, very well. It does a lot, but never mind. The Junior is gone as they just get shot with the Zuka. And Fear Supply is going to keep control of zone, possibly feed through their penalty. Though Kiro here on the 52 just trying to paint up the zone. The splashdown will kind of force the zone to move over to Hybrid Family's side, but not for long, as Fear Supplies is still trying to fight zone. Oh, it's not working in their favor. That's 3 down, and Trinity there is forced to jump, or Infinity there is forced to jump out.
Forced to jump out, but like the special is ready. Its teammate special should be ready in quite a quickly. But yeah, very good lead here for the Hybrid Family. The specials are out, making some good kills. That's already -2. The zone is in control of Field Supplies. Gal is a bit alone here, taking cared of by the decav. And it's time to bring the fire in for Field Supplies. They need to push, they need to apply the same pressure that Hybrid Family did against them and not get flanked.
Yeah, and I think a big change from the last 2 games to this game is the loss of the crab. So they're not, if Hybrid Family gets pushed back, they're going to have a lot less options to kind of force their way in. Unfortunately, it looks like they don't really need any, as they're just going to fight, and Arcaneer popping back to keep their teammates alive. It's going to work. There's a Zuka from Infinity. He's not going to get any picks. The blaster here is kind of forced into a corner. That's 2 down for Hybrid Family. Nanachi here is still just sitting in this corner, gets another one in the bubble, but thankfully Edgar with the bubble of their own is going to support them really, really well. And Nanachi is still just fighting, looking for a pick. It's not going to work, but by the time they're gone, Fear Supplies is still 3 down with only Arkham remaining.
Only Arkham remaining, but the vacuum is out. Maybe can take the zone or just maybe stop the control of it. It was launched way in the back on Edgar, but the zone is still blue, still on the Hybrid Family's color. And we're approaching the 10 points left. It will be hard, but Field Supplies have one last play to make. The decav is dead, the zap is dead. It's a wipeout, and it's a great win for Hybrid Family. It was about time.
Yeah, it was about time, but I think what really, really changed was just the amount of paint that they had by switching to that Junior. Just the amount of bombs and just the amount of pure paint that one weapon can put out really, really made a difference. It really helped their frontliners just kind of move around much more freely.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to a game 4 on MakoMart. It feels like every map is different from the other. Like we have Hagglefish very open, Umami double zone completely separated, Shipshape a very closed map, and MakoMart just an all-rounder. Like you have some good flanks, you have an open map, but you also have some tops and some blocks to block a few positions. And we'll have Barnacle in time after if we go to game 5. Do you think we will see a game 5?
At this point, I don't know. I think maybe if Hybrid Family keeps the Junior and the Blaster, because Blaster is really good on this map since you can kind of shoot up to snipe really easily. You can shoot under, you can be under freezer, shoot up to their plat really easily. That could really help. The June, or you can even shoot if you're like on the stacks, you can shoot up there really easily. So I think Blaster might stay. Also, the Junior, just being a Junior, just kind of kind of does its thing. It
Does
just
it
kind of
think
sits there.
yeah, it
It just sits
paints,
there
it
and
throw
paints.
bombs, and it's doing the work we need him to do. And they
Yeah.
do keep Blaster and Junior and Gal and October the exact same comp, while the yellow side is bringing a Tri-Slasher.
Well, yeah, sloshers in general are really strong on this map. So you can really abuse the ledges and just kind of slosh up and get a pick or two. But as we see, the hybrid family with a really strong start, just going all in and getting two down and forcing everyone back away from snipe. That's gonna work out really, really, really good here, as they're gonna force Arkham to pop back, not in a terrible spot, but also not in the really best spot that they wanted to. But never mind, it's gonna work out in their favor, even gonna pick out of it.
Yeah, they stopped the zone, they got to the penalty, but I mean they're still getting killed one by one after the other. It's hard for field supplies. I feel like this map isn't suiting them. The hybrid family is just so aggressive and is pushing them to their spawn again and again, making some good kills, making some good holes in their defenses.
Yeah.
It's very very hard. -3 here. It's a good kill by the V shot, but yeah, threatened by Edgar.
Yeah, as right now, Hybrid Family is just showing a kind of a different mode from what we saw in those first two games. They've been playing really aggressive, and I think what is the big difference is that Fear Supplies hasn't really been dealing with the brush as much, because in the first two games they kind of dealt with the brush anytime that they saw it, but now the brush has been able to kind of just roam free and get get the picks that they really need, as Hybrid Family is going to fight back for his own and take control of it, as they might start to push back Fear Supplies, so it's not going to work out in their favor.
Yeah, it doesn't work in their favor, but I mean, for the moment, it's a very close game. Like you have the zone going from one color to the other. For the moment, it's Hybrid Family, but be careful of that special, of that vacuum. There is some TP going in for Fear Supplies, and it's maybe time for them to finally get a good entry tool, a good entry point into the Hybrid Family's defense. Let's see how it goes, but for the moment, it's working pretty well, except for that Kiro skill.
Yeah, right now Fear Supplies is holding on for dear life, as the whale's gonna come out for Hybrid Family. That's a 1-for-1 trade here. Looks like Infinity's gonna get another 1-for-1 trade, which is really, really good for Fear Supplies, since they just wanna keep Hybrid Family back. It's gonna work out. They pop, forcing the bubble to pop in a really bad spot. There comes the Vac or the Zipcaster trying to get a pick here. It's gonna work with about 3 ticks left. They're gonna not get the lead at the last second. The not use splashdown is gonna be able to hold on to the lead by 1 point.
1 point that can make the difference, and for the moment the Hybrid Family is holding on and already going back to its business, being aggressive, holding them back in their spawn. And I mean, for the moment it's working. You have Nanachi here with the blaster on the right side. The Zuka is out, the vacuum is out, maybe Fear Supplies is rolling out their specials very quickly for that time, but the penalty is out. They need to take back that zone. -2 is in. The Octobrush in difficulty, taking a really good trade, but that won't be enough. The splashdown, taking back the zone. The
Oh my god.
Splashdown is really a game changer here.
Yeah, and I think Fear Supplies is just not respecting the splashdown as much as they should be, because I think that's what the second or third time Nanachi has been able to just splash down and just completely take control of the zone just like that and flip it. Though the second I say that, Arkham just shoots the Vac again in zone, try to neutralize. It's gonna work for just a second, but Hybrid Family is holding on here for dear life, as they're gonna be able to pop a bubble there, but with about 10 ticks or 6 ticks left, this might be it. They're gonna try to go for zone. It's not gonna work. The Zipcat is gonna get the final 2 kills, and just like that, Hybrid Family has forced themselves into a game number 5.
Game number 5, the most important game of a tournament, Grand Final Game 5. That's where everything is decided. And I mean, that was a hell of a run for both teams.
Yeah, I think right now, the momentum has completely shifted. I just want to say that Hybrid Family went from down 0-2 looking like this may be the end to a potential 3-0 sweep, a potential reverse sweep. That that's gotta feel like really good. Just being able to hold on at the when everything was against you, just being able to hold on to the last second.
I mean, that's pretty interesting because, like, if I remember well, game 1, game 2, Field Supply was just completely dominating the hybrid family, and it completely reversed. Like, of course, Field Supplies got to the touch zone sometimes, but the hybrid family is just putting so much pressure on their shoulder, putting so much aggressiveness, and again, like the splashdown is being Field Supply is just ignoring that splashdown that just takes the zone over and over again. We've seen it on Shipshape, we've seen it on MakoMart. Field Supplies need to find an answer to this blaster because it's making so much work here.
Yeah, and I think it's just becoming aware, just making sure you have all entries or all entry points painted. Because if you don't, then like we just saw now in MakoMart, the splash now immediately take zone. Though I do believe it can't take the entire zone on Barnacle and Dime. I may be wrong on that. I know it's kind of close, but yeah, and I think for Barnacle and Dime specifically, watching the streets is a very big part of it, since a lot of short range weapons like to come up on that street underneath your snipe or underneath your plat. So being able to have complete control of that just kind of allows you just a little breath of a breath of fresh air.
Breath of fresh air, that will be very important. Both teams need to they need to breathe. They need some space if they want to win on Barnacle, because it's a map where you can get pressure on your opponent very easily. Once you get the zone, if you get like a wipeout, you can hold on to that lead for a very, very, very long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and since Barnacle and Barnacle and Dime is one of those maps where it's not impossible to push out. It just either takes some luck or it takes a lot of resources. So being able to hold on for as long as possible, because I think you've been commenting or streaming for a while, so you've seen matches where a team pushes up super far, they get wiped out, and then everything switches to where the other team, the team that was once losing, just completely knocks it out.
Mm-hmm. True, and that's also why, like, Barnacle in Dime, I don't feel like it's a map that is. I mean, I don't know what the public think about Barnacle in Dime. Either people hate it or people really like it. Because it's so much back and forth, but it also can be so much one-sided, depending on the composition. Like, it's very dependent, from what I see.
Yeah, I think Barnacle and Dime overall seen as a pretty good map. Zone specifically, I think, is one of the better map modes on the better modes on this map. But for the most part, I think Barnacle and Dime is still a really good map, especially after the changes that happened. It's one of the better ones.
Mm-hmm. We just need 3 more players to get ready for the grand final. I hope you are. Don't hesitate to cheer for your favorite team in the chat. I see Darklocks rooting for the hybrid family. Do we have any Field Supplies fans here in the chat? Just tell me, because I see a lot of THF fans. No Field Supplies. Show them some respect. Show them some show them they can do it. We'll see. It's a deciding game. We just need Nanachi to get ready. Will he pick his blaster? Don't know. We'll see.
I mean, it's working. If it ain't broke, why fix it? But here we are, game number 5, the final game of the tournament. No changes from Fierce Supplies and no changes from Hybrid Family. Both teams like what they both like what they ran the first couple of times. They're gonna stick with it as this game opens up.
Game opens up and we have that ink brush here on the left side putting some bombs. The control is for the Hybrid Family. every time Field Supplies open that game, for the moment it's the Hybrid family taking some good points, taking some good kills. It's already -2. Arkham is gonna go down, and the Octoshot is alone here, maybe taking the good kill here on the October. That's right. The Ink Strikes are ready, but he won't put them now. Really good kill on the Blaster though. That Octoshot made a really good work, but the team is just not coming back yet.
Yeah, as Hybrid Family is already down to 45. What a really good opening push. And finally, Fierce Supplies are going to be able to take control of zone. Though Nanachi here getting 1, getting 2. That's a triple for Hybrid Family. And just like that, as soon as Fierce Supplies got it, they no longer have it, as the Octobrush with the Zipcaster trying to cause some chaos here might work in their favor, just cause people to shoot at them. And now Hybrid Family has a chance to really get set up here.
And I mean, all specials are ready on Field Supply side, but it's just so much packed in their spawn. They don't have any access to that mid, so they throw in some specials, throw in the vacuum. Oh, but there's this huge -3 here. Kiro is a bit alone with the 52 gal, maybe taking a kill or two, not going to jump off. And Field Supplies, for the first time in the game, have a clear path and a clear way to make some kills.
Yeah, they have a really good way of getting a hold, although that might not last long, as Hybrid Family is just pushing up really hard. They're using that bubble to their advantage, trying to push up slowly with it. However, it's not working in their favor. There's a Nachi with the splashdown a bit far away. He's not going to get a kill here, but looks like Fierce Supplies might take lead here, though they do have to be careful of this brush on the flank, decide not to go for it. Instead of popping a Zipcaster, getting 1 through it, getting 2, and just like that, they're gonna go down. But Fierce Supply still has zone, but Hybrid Family has like 1 or 2 more opportunities to try to get something going. Unfortunately goes for a swim at the absolute wrong time, as it's just Nanachi trying to hold on to zone. There's a splashdown at the last second, 2 ticks left, they're not gonna hold it, and Fierce Supplies at the last second through the splashdowns are gonna hold on and win the set and the tournament in a very close game number 5.
And that time they acknowledged the splashdown. They knew Nanachi was here. They knew it was there to ruin everything, but they hold on to the zone, hold on to the lead, and got that amazing KO, offering them the win after an almost reverse sweep by the Hybrid Family.
Yeah, Fierce Supplies just kind of, they held on. They were at least a little bit shook through those first 2 games, but once they got control of zone on Barnacle and Dime, they just kind of ran with it. Yes, Hybrid Family did provide a couple of, how do you say,
Opposition?
Yeah, opposition. They did provide some challenges for Fierce Supplies, but they managed to overcome it and come away with a really close win and a victory in this Minnow Cup.
I mean, I feel like the last game was a reflection of the first 2 games. As soon as Fierce Supplies had a clear way to take the zone, take control of the mid, they won't let go of it. Like, the vacuum was there, the bubble was there, they had everything to keep that zone, and again, those supportive specials were helping them a lot to keep the control. You said in the first 2 games, I think it was in Hagglefish, that they had troubles getting in, but I mean, as soon as they're in, they're settling it.
Yeah, and I think the main thing was getting in. Like, their comp was to the point where once they got in, it was pretty hard to move them, but it also worked in reverse, where if they got pushed back, it's pretty hard to get in, but they showed that they can just rely on their own skills to get those kills that they needed.
And that's how we wrap up Minnow Cup Splat Zone Edition by an amazing set. Thank you to all teams for playing, and yeah, GG to Field Suppliers for this well-deserved win. It was a pleasure to commentate with you, Topic. It was great to have you. Thanks to all commentators who came into the stream. Thanks to all TOs. We're gonna give them credit in a few, and yep. Have a good day, have a good night, everyone.
See you later.